side guys. Your schoolwork done?
Almost all of it.
Almost all of it. Why did you get all of it done?
Because you came home.
Oh, because I came home. And why did you stay home to do your schoolwork?
Because I was almost done with it. Because I could get done
So
fast.
we are on the way to the doctor's office, where the doctors be, because I think I've done something to my leg. Christy says it's way worse than I lead on. I don't know. All right, how are you, Jessica? Hey, there's the little chick right there. So Chris says that my leg is worse than what I say it is. I don't doubt that, man. Like, I have a really high threshold for pain. Like, super high. Like, the joke in the family is dad's made of steel.
It's not a joke.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I put up some shit, like, when it goes to my body. And I just do superhuman things. What's a thing that I've done that dad's made of steel? How can we prove this?
Man, you've done a lot of stuff that I would probably be on the ground crying for.
But you're 11. You're supposed to be on the ground crying.
Mom would be on the ground.
I just have a really high threshold for pain. So, last week on Friday, Silas was carrying wood down the hill for me, the wheelbarrow. I don't know, we were moving logs in the wheelbarrow. That's what we were doing. And something happened, the wheelbarrow fell over. The handle of the wheelbarrow landed on the outside of my foot on the top. Now, I broke the other one before. I broke my foot, that bone on the top of your foot on the outside. I've broken it before. It's a pain in the ass. And the last time I walked on it for a week and a half or something, 2 weeks before I knew it was broken. You know what I mean? Like, I just deal with pain. I don't know. It hurts. Fucking, it'll quit hurting. Like, everything ends eventually. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of how I look at it. I don't, you know, the old Patrick Swayze saying from Roadhouse, pain doesn't hurt. You know what I mean? It's just it's a state of mind. It's your mind telling your body there's something wrong. And if you can look at it like that, more power to you. But it's also your body telling you that there's something wrong. Fast forward 24 hours after I did that, I'm in East Tennessee at Greg and Tracy's house. They had a tree fall on top of their carport, and there was another tree hanging over the carport. Well, I decided that I needed to cut it down because it was just going to fall in the carport too. But I wasn't thinking they're going to be moving the carport. We're going to be doing something with the carport at some point anyway. It's going to be moved at some point, at least long enough for me to cut a tree down that won't fall on. So I went to go climb this tree, and you know, the man of steel grabs a vine, and it had to have been like 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick, because the only way I could get up the tree was with the vine. The vine broke in half. I fall. There's a big rock on the ground. It's like, you know, probably a foot and a half in diameter, but it's like 8 or 10 inches tall. And the back of my calf lands on that rock. I land flat on my back, and I was fine. I just jumped up. Okay, I'm good. Kept on doing what I was doing. Let's fast forward another 24 hours, 48 hours, and I've been having problems with my legs swollen anyway because I'm on my feet constantly. I'm either on my feet or sitting on my ass constantly. Like when I lay down, I'm only laying down for a few hours at a time. Therefore, my body can't recoup the water in my water. I don't know how do I explain this. I don't know the medical terminology for this, but I do know how it works. So if you cut off circulation to, I may have bad circulation, maybe dying, who knows. If you cut off the circulation to your body parts, the first thing that happens is they'll start swelling. The reason they start swelling is because the water in your, I guess it's in your blood, you know, migrates to that part of your body for whatever reason, and it will swell it. I've seen this a lot, like when I've had injuries that get wraps. They wrap it too tight, body part swells up. So today, and it hasn't been bothering. Tech strip, that's what I call those. When you hear that, come on, so you hear. That's a tech strip. It means get off your fucking phone, your technology, get off your technology. Today I was at work, man, and like it's bothering my knee now. You know, like knee injuries suck. I've had both my knees operated on the past 2 years. And especially when you got to stand on them for 12 hours and you're constantly walking and shit. So, but that wasn't even really the problem. The problem was that my leg and foot are so big that I couldn't hardly get my leg in my pants today. because my leg didn't want to go through, like, past my knee. I had to kind of, like, force it. And then it didn't want to go into, I had muck boots on, and I had to force the muck boot on, which is just crazy. Like, normally you can wear 3 or 4 pairs of socks and all kinds of shit. So, anyway, we were on the way to the doctor's office because it's probably what's best. Tracy's been trying to talk me to go on for like 3 days now, 4 days now. And I'm like, man, I'll be all right. But the other problem is that all the tissue in my calf, like from my knee down to my foot, is hard. Like, it's not normal. You know what I'm saying? Normally, like, your legs swell up, you're kind of like getting shit. Not on my left leg. It's kind of hard. So we're gonna go see what's up. And I'm sure it's gonna be a problem because it's always a problem because they don't want to serve you if you don't want to wear their mask or whatever bullshit. And if that's the case, then I guess I just made a drive for nothing because I'm not putting a face diaper in.
Gas mask?
I don't have the gas mask with me. I really don't even want to do that. I mean, I know that's funny and stuff.
And oxygen.
We should have brought mom's panties. That's funny.
And
that's hilarious.
Tinfoil hat might need a one.
Yes, mom's thongs and a tinfoil hat. and a black magic. Oh, I got the black Martha right there.
And you shroud with tinfoil might need a one.
Listening into my, I plugged the earbuds in for me, but I plugged them in the charger. Listening to my earbuds today, apparently, and somebody else had mentioned this in the comment in one of my videos or video I posted today. Apparently, Joe Biden turned around and shook the hand of somebody that wasn't there. He's so used to somebody being there that to shake his hand, he probably just turned to shake his hand. It's all show, man. It's all stage, and he just forgot that something changed. Apparently, they're trying to keep people away from him now because of this new, C virus variant. And he's 80 years old. They don't want him to die, for whatever reason. I don't know why. You think that they just wanted to go ahead and let him go so that whoever's really called the shots can go ahead and get in office. I don't know. Doesn't really matter.
He thinks he's 120 years old.
No, he thought he'd been in the Senate for 120 years. That's what he said. There might be some truth to that, man. Like, these people are evil. Evil in a way that I don't think humans are capable of being evil. You know what I mean? I mean, there are certain humans that do things for certain reasons. What these douchebags do is just, it's, unfathomable. And people don't understand. Like, they literally have stolen our lives from us. Like, literally. Yeah, we're breathing, and we're getting up and going to work and feeding our kids and our homes or having our land or whatever it is. But our lives have been stolen. A big part of that through, the racket called extortion. I mean, taxation, whatever, same thing. Extortion and taxation are one and the same. When the mob did it, they put people in jail for life sentences under RICO. When government does it, they call it legal and doing your part. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Never will. Therefore, we don't be filing. We don't be filing. I don't be filing. So while I'm here, I have some other stuff I probably need to ask about. I got going on. I got low iron. I'm anemic. Still have to take care of that problem.
You can tell if you have low iron by if you pull your eyelid down.
If I pull my eyelid down, what?
If it's white, then that means you're on low iron.
Really? Yeah. We know I'm low iron, right?
Is it white?
Is it white? Yeah.
It's spread.
Well, then that's bullshit because my doctor told me that I was severely anemic. What if I got like HIV or something? Like where I helped the dude out with the gunshot wound.
Oh man, no, don't say that.
You know how many people's blood I've touched in the past 10 years?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. I don't like, here's my thing. If I don't have gloves with me, I'm not, like, a pair of gloves is not going to stop me from trying to save your life. It's not. If I have to catch some weird shit in order for you to live, so be it. It's God's will, right? God's plan.
I mean, like,
I'm only kidding about God's plan. I don't believe God has a plan.
do you at least wash your hands after that? I know.
No, hell no. I wear the blood around for like 3 days so I look cool and shit. Go around telling people that I beat somebody up. Look at all this blood on me from them. You don't see the scratches on my face, right?
So you did wash your hands?
Yeah, I wash my damn hands. Why wouldn't I?
I was just asking.
Yes, I wash my hands. I actually had a doctor tell me one time, a infectious disease doctor. You remember when Daddy had the problems with all my lymph nodes swelling up when I was in jail?
No.
They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. So I was in jail one time and I had a problem with all the lymph nodes on the right side of my body and were swollen up like golf ball size, like huge. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. Still to this day, we don't know what was wrong with me. Thanks to the great medical system at jails, you know. But he told me that, how do you say this? I'm about to lie to you because I don't remember how he said it. In order for you to catch HIV from someone, there has to be some serious, like just having sex with someone, most times you wouldn't catch, or just having unprotected sex with somebody, most times if they are HIV positive, you would not catch HIV, or you wouldn't get it. I forget how he worded it exactly. What he basically said was you're more apt to get Hep C from using needles more than once than you are from getting HIV from a person that has HIV.
You can get HIV from using needles?
No, you can actually give yourself hepatitis C from reusing needles. It's like when Daddy used to do drugs, and I had all the money to buy all the drugs, but sometimes I'd just cheap out on needles. Like, screw it, it'll be okay. We go get a 100-pack tomorrow. You ever do that shit, man? I swear I'll beat you to death. Not beat you to death like whoop your ass like a dad and son, like beat you to death, fist and teeth action. You understand?
Yes, sir. I would never do that.
I know, I said the same thing. I always said I'd never do drugs. And then I did drugs. And then I said, well, I'll never snort your pills when I start taking pills. And then I snort pills. And then I said, oh, I never stick a needle in my arm. And then I stick a needle in my arm. So you don't say never. Just say that you will make the correct decisions in life so that you don't wind up in a position where you will make that choice. Or have to make that choice.
I won't make the choice no matter what.
Anything that alters your mind or your mood is bad.
If it depends on my life, I won't do that.
Listen, if you ever get in that situation, you call Dad. Dad will come over and take care of shit real quick. I'll beat up some 15-year-olds if I have to. Yeah, I'll do it.
Then you probably want to do that because I'm not going to take.
Well, like when I did that shit, I didn't have nobody to look at. Like, I'm Uncle David, but nobody really talked about it. You know what I mean? And David never went to prison until he started hanging out with me. He still didn't go to prison. He's got to put on probation. But I don't think that what he was. Actually, it was my Uncle David. So here's a solid dude. I lied the other night when I said my chick Christy is the only most solid person. Well, she is the most solid person I ever met. My Uncle David one time, so me and my Uncle David go to get a bunch of drugs, and we're in my buddy Brett's car. And like I was so sick, my dumb ass pulls over on the side of the interstate, right in front of the ballpark in Cincinnati, right in front of the baseball field, right there on set where 71 crosses over 471. And I'm sitting there doing what I'm doing, and I look up, and there's a cop walking up to the car, and I'm like, oh shit. I look over at my Uncle David, he's like this in the passenger seat. I mean, he's out. He's already high and passed out over there. I'm like, David, wake up. He's like, what? I was like, dude, there's a cop walking to the car. I'm like, here, do something with this. So he did something with it. He stuck it in his pocket. But when it came time to whose is this? Because they always ask, even if it's in your pocket, they're going to try to get everybody. My Uncle David's like, it's mine. It definitely wasn't my Uncle David's. It was definitely mine. So.
Did he take the blame for it?
Yes, he did. He did. But then again, he used drugs at the same time too, and he was using the drugs I was buying all the time. So I mean, really technically, if you want to get really technical about it, it was kind of his, because he would have been using it too. But I paid for it, and it was mine.
Why are you having conversations with your 11-year-old son?
So you don't do the stupid shit that I did.
I would never.
I said the same thing.
I would never.
I said the same thing.
I would never.
Okay, I said the same thing.
Okay.
Like I will beat you to death, you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, as long as you understand that. What's your rush? Where the fuck you rushing to in Tennessee? Car coming, just popped the hill. He's passing this last car. I don't know if you guys can see the shit. There's another car up there he's trying to pass. So that other car just had to hammer on the brakes. Just so he can get out front. And what do you want to bet? He slows his ass down all the way to 60 the rest of the way.
What's the speed limit?
I don't know, 55 or something like that.
Why don't you pass this dude?
Why? Am I in a rush to get somewhere?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because your foot.
My foot will be fine. I'll be good. I don't think it's going to ride off before we get there.
Huh?
I don't think it's going to ride off before we get there. But anyway, point being is that when I was growing up, I didn't have nobody to look at me like, man, like doing drugs is shitty. You either wind up dead or in jail. There's your two options. Okay? Dead or in jail. That's it. I don't care how much money you have. Those are your two options. You will wind up dead or in jail no matter what. Look at all the heroin addicts from the hair bands. Look at Molly Crew, Nikki Sixx. Look at Kurt Cobain from Nirvana. What's the dudes from Sublime? Who else? The dude from Static X, Wayne Static. Dead or in jail. That's where drugs are. That's it. Sorry if you hear the beeping. That's what it is. But what's shitty about it is, like, here's my position on the drug thing. They should legalize all drugs. The worst drugs in this country. Think about this. I used heroin for 20 years of my life. 20 years. There's another one right there that's passing everybody. Like, I went at it hard. I wasn't just your average, I like to use drugs occasionally guy. I was the dude, like, I got high in 1996, and I got unhigh in 2016. Like, I kind of stayed high that whole time, except for when I was in jail. And, like, I was just literally high all the time. That's what I did. You drink wine on Fridays, or you drink a beer on Friday. I shot heroin on Friday. I see no difference in it. There is no difference in it. But I can't quit nicotine. Think about that. Like, really think about that. The hardest drugs on the planet I used for decades and quit. But I can't quit nicotine. Look at alcoholics. Every time they go to the gas station, they're drug dealers right there. Alcohol and nicotine are the two most dangerous, and in my opinion, drugs on the planet, or at least the most addictive anyway. And like when it comes to heroin, they're like, oh, the first time you use your nicotine, no, you're not. That's such bullshit. Or, oh, they died with their needle in their arm. That's total bullshit too. Those are the two biggest lies you'll ever hear about heroin. Ever. Now, if you use it 3 days in a row, if you use it for a straight 72-hour period, so if you don't use heroin at all, and then you get up on Monday and you get high, Tuesday you get high, Wednesday you get high, and now your body is physically addicted to it. That's how long it takes. If you can get away with doing it 2 days in a row, you might feel like shit every now and then when you stop, but that third day is what's going to get you every time. But I think they should legalize all drugs, let people make their choice. The prices of the drug, the reason drugs are so expensive, drugs are really expensive. The reason they're so expensive is because they're illegal. The harder it is to get something, the more it costs. The more risk there is, the more it costs. So legalize all drugs, let people make the choice. That way, like right now, you see people dying from heroin, right? They're not dying from heroin, they're dying from fentanyl overdoses. Heroin doesn't exist today. It just doesn't. That's part of the reason why I quit using drugs. It's no longer heroin, it's all fentanyl. I bet, like, I forget who said this. This was a couple years ago. They said that no drug test that they had in the past, like, year had came back as heroin. They all come back as fentanyl. And like fentanyl's a killer. So you know what fentanyl is? It's a synthetic heroin. It was created by a scientist to help people with pain, and you see what it's doing is killing people. And they can put a stop to it, but they don't want to. You look at the southern border. tons and tons of that shit flowing over the border. Like fentanyl is so deadly. Just like so, if it gets in the air, it will make people overdose. Look up Ross prison overdoses and Ross, Ohio overdoses. Somebody in there had fentanyl somewhere, and somehow it got into the air, and a bunch of cops and shit OD'd over. So we legalize it. That way, maybe they'll bring heroin back, get rid of the fentanyl. I mean, if you don't do heroin today, you're not just going to walk into your local 7-Eleven and be like, oh, I'm going to try some heroin today. No, that's not how it's going to work. Just like you don't walk in and buy cigarettes if you don't smoke cigarettes. People are going to do it regardless. So why not make it as safe as you can for them? You know, if we're going to play this system and play this game, why not do that? You know why? Back in the 80s, the black community is what kept the prison industrial complex going through the crack epidemic. When crack hit the streets, it hit the street on the same day in 4 cities in the country at the same time. How is that possible? Anybody want to guess? It's CIA. That's how. Like it's well known. They don't hide it. They use the drug money. So like when they go to Congress and ask Congress for $800,000 for whatever, Congress says kick rocks. They're like, okay, I want to sell some crack. And like that's what they do. They put it out there. They think these people addicted to it, and then ruins their lives if they don't know how to regulate it. Which crack is a stupid drug anyway, from what I understand. From what I've seen, it's a stupid drug. Why would you want to speed, man? Like I don't get it. Like I'm not the speeding dude. I want to relax, chill, take a nap, get some good sleep. I mean, look what happened in Afghanistan. We went over there and killed a bunch of guys living in caves and guarding poppy fields. That's what we did. Now all those dudes over there are out of business because it's too hard to get their heroin over. It's cheaper to get the fentanyl here. The Mexicans are jumping the border left and right, bringing it over, back, 10 kilos at a time in their backpack. And they're allowing it to happen. Why are they allowing it to happen? How do you destroy a nation? Through the youth. That's how. Just like now, everything you see going on now, all this teaching kiddies about, trans shit when they're in 3 and 4 and 5 years old in kindergarten, all that shit's about destroying the youth, man. Warping their fucking minds. And the end game is, see, these people that are rich, like the Kamala Harrises and the Joe Bidens, and name off anybody in Congress, they don't care about you. They don't care about what happens to you. They don't care about your family. What they do care about is their bank account. They care about money. And if they got to destroy this nation, they don't care because they'll still be on top when it comes to whatever thing happens. And it's disgusting, man. It really is that there's people like that in the world. I wish that I could only wish that I could, as crooked as the system is, I would run for a congressional seat. 100% I would. And I bet they would kill me. I bet I would get Arkansas. And every time I got on TV, I would put the world. I would make people ask themselves the questions. That's where we gotta go right there. I gotta go here first, though. I gotta grab something out here. And that's what we should do, but I'll tell you down the old Sonic. That's what we should do is, but we can't do it if there's not people to do it. If you have 50 families moved to the same area, the same county, you could do that. Like, you could make something happen. Like, just when I talk to people, like all the people I work for, I have all these same conversations I have with you guys, with these people. Paul gets so pissed at me when I would do it. You're like, oh, come on, Dick. Oh, here we go. What?
It's a gold to you.
Close to you. You want to get pissed.
Huh?
But like, I want people to think about what they do, what they say and what they believe in. You know, they don't realize like what they say and believe in is bullshit. Like we've all been scammed. My kid, at 11 years old, knows more about what's going on, really going on in the world, or at least in this country. We haven't talked too much about what's going on in the world. Not that I don't know, have an idea. Nobody really knows, I guess. Well, somebody does, but it's not me though.
Then Zombie Fairy.
What are we talking about that, dude? I did a video today as a reply to some shit that he said. I'll be right back. You hang tight. You want to talk to me or you talk?
Sure.
There you go. Talk to him.
Okay. How's everyone's day? Let's see. Set it. Hey. Boom. Got a new camera. Pointed perfectly at the driver. So that now y'all can see him when he drives. Hey T Black. Hey Jessica. Oh, it's blurring. There we go. Yeah, we are. We're going to the ER. Oh well, if they do, we'll just grab a gas mask. See how they like it in. They say it covers up your face and we can't see you. Oh well. Hey, Triangle. Tyrannical, sorry. Yeah, I'd wear a Halloween mask or or just, I don't know. I'd either wear like a Halloween mask or a gas mask. We would if we had one. Yeah, I do. Because I want to see how they'd react to it. Tennessee's kinda, no, it's not kinda, it's actually very, very peaceful. See, I found a new spot.
Oh shit, yeah, it's gonna ride there for about 30 seconds. Put my phone back in.
It's right there forever. No, I didn't tell him that. New clutch for the Banshee. Should we do a video on this?
You gotta put it in. Yeah, we'll probably do a video on it if you want.
Okay.
You should do a video on it. Start your own YouTube channel. Like fix the four wheelers, man. You got a lot of work you can do. You gotta swap all the shit over for the blaster, the other blaster. You got to.
You got hunt? Look, let me.
You said it to me. You gotta swap all the stuff over, all the hydraulic disc brake shit from the one blaster to the old blaster. You got to change the carb out on the green blaster at some point. You got to put a clutch in the Banshee.
Which we are going to do very soon.
Yeah, like you should be filming all that shit, man. Start a YouTube channel. You know how badass it would be for an 11-year-old to have a quad channel like that, doing all that shit?
If you give me your phone and you let me use it for a couple hours,
I got you. When I'm working on the truck or whatever, I'm going to be doing like doing Banshee. Then yeah, and like the clutch is super simple, man. Like you can do that.
That is super
And
simple.
you have YouTube to watch if you need to, and Dad will be right there to help you. So here we are, tied up to our bed.
Tied up to our bed.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's something you'll never get to hear because it's too not good. What was the dude's name? Might be a redneck guy's name.
Do your mama hoe?
Do your mama hold now? I don't even know where the hell I'm going.
Park right here, go through there.
I don't even know where I'm going, dude. Well,
That's what I was saying.
I
Park
thought
up right here.
this was the place. Guess I could be wrong. No, what was his name? Jeff Foxworthy. That was his name. Alright guys, I gotta roll. I gotta get this done. Go here and see what's wrong with my damn leg. I just about bet something
Right
broke.
This is the emergency.
I know it's not really emergency, but that's how we're doing it today. Ask her. She went to the river mass, so we see her talking.
Now?
Where's the emergency room at? Do you know where the emergency room is?
I'm sorry?
Emergency room? The emergency room. Do you know where?
Emergency room.
Yeah.
Go up here to the light.
Yep.
Make a right.
Yep.
Go down to your next right.
Yep.
And come around there to the ER.
Thank you. I keep seeing people's face on Facebook, like, and they're in pictures and shit, and they got fucking masks on. Like, how would you even take a picture with a mask? My aunt did it with her grandbaby. I'm like, yeah, look, you get to look back in 20 years and see how sad you were underneath that mask. She's like, I wasn't sad. I was like, yeah, tell me that in 20 years. You can't prove it. Like, it just...
Medical center's right there. But
Yeah, you said square body Chevy?
yeah, I just seen that. That's
Car.
cool.
Or was it Caprice?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was on like 26s. Oh, those are cool. We should do that. We should get us a dome. Should we build a dome?
We wouldn't really drive it
There's-
because we wouldn't want to put too much miles on it, right?
Shit, I'd throw ladders on top of it and drive to work. What? Fucking cops.
Where do you see it?
Alright, I gotta go right there. There's always a cop at the hospital because you know you need cops at hospitals because that makes all the sense in the world.
It does, you're right.
You know what I mean? Because, like,
Because wonder if someone tries to escape.
oh god. Alright, we gotta roll. Y'all have a good night. Peace.